everyone. I officially welcome you all to the International Student Orientation Fall 2026, Part 3, the Medical Insurance Information Session. So this session will cover primary and secondary medical insurance, health and counseling services available at SFU, and some well-being tips during your transition to SFU. For a more comprehensive understanding of your pre- and post-arrival journey, we encourage you to attend our other sessions in the series as well, or watch the uploaded recordings. And for those who are watching the recording, please note that the automatic captions may not be 100% accurate. And to start us in a good way, I would like to respectfully acknowledge that Simon Fraser University's 3 campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Katzie, Coquitlam, Kaikait, Kwantlen, Semiahmoo, and Tuasin nations. Though we are meeting virtually today, we recognize and honor the Indigenous peoples who are the original stewards of the lands many of us call home or will call home in the coming months. As we study, work, and live on these traditional lands, I invite everyone to also reflect on the histories that have shaped our presence here and on our individual and collective roles in supporting truth, reconciliation, and respectful relationships. Thank you. Okay, moving on to introductions. My name is Neela. I am one of the International Student Experience Coordinators. I was also a former international student at SFU, so I'm really excited to welcome new international students to the SFU community. And for today's session, I will be the moderator. With that, I'll pass the introductions to our lovely presenters.
So I'm Ashani. I'm also an International Student Experience Coordinator. I work alongside with Neela at SFU International Services for Students. I was also a former international student at SFU. I'm always enjoying these sessions, introducing new international students to the community. And with that, I'll pass it over to Ali.
Hey, Tanya, Neela. Hi, everyone. My name is Ali. I'm representing Alumo today, your SFSS and GSS Extended Health and Dental Plan Administrator. It's my pleasure to be here. And once upon a time, I was also an international student at SFU, so I'm happy to be here and present this to you folks. Over to Ricky.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Ricky. I work here at Health and Counseling as the Transition Case Manager, and I'm excited to welcome everyone here and go over some of our services.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. And so first, we will start with medical insurance for international students presented by Ishani. So my first question is medical insurance. How does it work?
Yes, great question, Neela. And medical insurance is a very important topic for international students. So as international students, you must make sure that you have adequate medical insurance for the entire duration of your studies. And if you do have any family members also accompanying you, they also need to make sure that they have sufficient coverage for their stay in Canada. So medical services can be extremely costly if you don't have proper insurance. For example, the BCMSP website indicates that hospital cost alone can exceed $1,000 a day if you don't have proper insurance. As such, it's in your best interest, as well as it's a responsibility to make sure that you have proper coverage throughout your time at SFU and in Canada as well. So there's 2 types of insurance, primary and secondary, and together they make up your comprehensive insurance coverage.
Thank you for that. Then what is the difference between primary and secondary insurance?
Yes, so primary medical insurance covers medically necessary services, such as doctor's visits, hospital stays, and diagnostic tests, such as lab tests or x-rays if you ever need to get one. And primary medical insurance is also a legal requirement in BC for everyone who lives longer than 6 months, including international students. And secondary insurance generally covers services that your primary medical insurance does not. So some examples would be dental services, vision care, extended benefits such as prescription drugs, massage therapy, counseling, and so forth. So they're kind of complementary, and together they are meant to provide you comprehensive coverage.
Thank you. What is the main primary medical insurance plan?
Yes, so to kind of talk about primary medical insurance first. So BC Medical Services, BCMSV, as we commonly refer to it, is your main primary medical insurance plan. It is a provincial health plan as well, and it is a legal requirement for everyone who lives in BC for longer than 6 months to enroll in this plan. So if you're a new student, you should apply for BCMSP as soon as you arrive in BC, pretty much right away. There's roughly a 3-month waiting period for BCMSP to be effective. And to cover that waiting period, SFU provides a temporary plan called GuardMe, which we'll talk about in a bit as well. So you can apply for BCMSP online. And to apply for BCMSP, you need to have a study permit that's valid for at least 6 months. And then if you do have any dependents joining you as well, they can be added to your MSP account with their own immigration documents. If you have any adult family members, they can also choose to have their own separate MSP account as well. So BCMSP does have a fee for international students. It's $75 monthly, and it's called the International Student Health Fee. So this fee is not part of your SFU fees. There are a few different charges you'll see on your SFU account for insurance, so sometimes students get a bit confused. They think the MS fee is part of your SFU fees as well, but that's not the case. So once your BCMSP is effective, you start getting a monthly invoice by mail. So you can pay for it online, or you can also set up an online account through Health Insurance BC Billing and Payment Services to receive e-bills and set up pre-authorized payments as well. The only reason I'm including this option is because working in an advising capacity, I've had student cases where they weren't really keeping up with their payments. You know, they either had moved and not updated their address, so they weren't receiving the monthly invoices anymore, or sometimes they were just not opening up their mail and keeping up with those payments. So suddenly they had this like a big bill, a lot of money owing to Health Insurance BC, and they were panicking, like wondering what to do because it was suddenly like a large expense they hadn't expected. So to kind of mitigate that, like if you're the type of person who likes to kind of set it all up front and kind of let it all happen in the back end, you can choose to set up this pre-authorized payment. But if not, you can also pay it monthly as you receive the monthly bills as well. And speaking of the International Student Health Fee, so this information on this slide is not applicable to everyone, but because we have a large number of graduate students in the audience, I want to mention it as a resource. So if you end up becoming a teaching assistant, a research assistant, or otherwise a TSSU member, you will be eligible to have the International Student Health Fee covered by SFU for the duration of your contract. So this is not something that's administered by our office. It's through SFU Human Resources. And then enrollment in this benefit is also not automatic. So you'll need to complete some forms as part of your contract. But one thing I do want to flag is that this benefit is applicable only for the duration of your contract. So once your contract is over, then you will have to go back to paying your International Student Health Fee yourself. So if you do have any questions about this benefit, how to apply for it, the timelines, you can contact SFU Human Resources by emailing them. You can find the email address here. And this website also has some information about this benefit. It's a nice thing to have, so I do want to let you know all of it, anything to relieve the financial burden, but this will be only applicable to TSSU members. And once you do have your BC MSP coverage, please make sure that you keep your account up to date as well. So BC MSP is generally valid only for the length of the study permit that you apply for MSP with. So each time you update each time you get a new study permit, please make sure that you update your MSP account as well. And you might be in between study permits, like if your old study permit had expired and you're waiting for a new study permit to be issued, you can also request for temporary MSP coverage. And then once you get your new study permit, you can update your MSP coverage for the validity of your new study permit as well. Yep, I think that's all I had to cover about MSP here.
Yeah, thank you so much for that and for the important reminders for the health fees. And moving on, how do I get coverage while I'm going through the MSP waiting period?
Yes, so I mentioned this briefly, but MSP does have that 3-month waiting period from when you first arrive, if you're a new resident of BC. So to cover this waiting period, SFU provides a temporary plan called GuardMe, and it's meant to cover you during that waiting period should there be any medical emergencies. But this plan is temporary, it is only for your first term, and we will not be enrolling you in any subsequent terms. So as students starting in the fall term, it will be valid from September 1st until December 31st of this year. So if you completed your course enrollment, you'll be automatically enrolled in this plan. It costs $281. It's included in your fall term fees. And then at the beginning of the term, you'll receive a welcome email directly from GuardMe, and you'll be able to log into your account to view your healthcare access card, which is a proof of insurance. You can also view your policy details and then submit any claims throughout the term if you need to. So your plan will be valid from September 1st, but if you are arriving in BC before September 1st to get yourself settled, you can also purchase early arrivals insurance through the GuardMe website. But you're also free to organize travel medical insurance to another provider as well. You don't have to go with early arrivals insurance through GuardMe if you need it before September 1st. And then if you do have any dependents joining you as well, once you receive your policy details, you can add them to your plan at an additional cost. So that's an option that's available for you as well. And it's also possible that some of you may already have valid BCMSP. For example, if you are a transfer student from FIC or another institution, you've already been living in BC for a while, you can opt out of the GuardMe plan for a full refund of the $281 by showing proof of your MSP coverage and opting out before September 30th. And if you're going to be a brand new BC resident, you can apply for BCMSP. And then once your BCMSP is effective, you can opt out before November 30th to receive a partial refund as well. So that's a small incentive to apply for BCMSP as soon as you arrive to make sure that timing aligns as well. And then you can opt out on the GuardMe website. And in either case, to receive a refund, you should have not used your GuardMe plan.
Thank you for that. That's a lot of information. So to summarize, what are some key takeaways regarding primary insurance?
Yes, definitely a lot of information. We covered 2 different plans just under primary medical insurance. So if I could whittle it down to 3 major points, it is that your GuardMe plan is temporary. It is only for your first term. Sometimes students have the misconception that they'll have GuardMe throughout their time at SFU, which is not the case. It's only for your first term, so you need to make sure that you have MSP effective by the time your GuardMe plan expires after your first term. And then MSP is also a legal requirement, so make sure that you apply for it as soon as you arrive in BC. And then once you receive your MSP coverage as well, please make sure that you keep it up to date, avoid any lapses in coverage. Each time you get a new study permit, make sure that you extend your coverage and keep up with those monthly payments as well.
Thank you, Ishani. And next, Ali will speak about the secondary medical insurance. So, Ali, what is my secondary insurance plan?
All right. Thanks for having me. So your secondary medical insurance plan is there to fill in the gaps that exist in your primary health insurance. So whether your primary health insurance is provided by BCMSP or GuardMe in the interim that Ishani just spoke to, there are certain gaps that exist in primary health insurance, and that's why you have the secondary medical insurance that provides you with comprehensive care while you are enrolled as a student at SFU. Whether you are an undergraduate student or a graduate student, you both have coverage, although they are different coverages. So please keep that in mind as we go through this portion of the presentation. The undergraduate plan and the graduate plan do differ from one another, and they have different claiming procedures, which we will talk about. But both of them are essentially there to provide students with comprehensive health insurance while you are a student at SFU. So for graduate students, as long as you are enrolled in a minimum of 3 credits, you are, for undergraduate students, that is a minimum of 3 credits, you're automatically enrolled in the plan. For graduate students, as long as you're enrolled, you are automatically enrolled in the plan. So in order to make sure that you are actually enrolled in the plan, please make sure you're checking your tuition fee statement for the fall semester. If you see the SFSS Health and Dental Plan fee or the GSS Health and Dental Plan fee billed to your tuition statement for fall, you know for sure that you are covered by the plan.
Thank you for that. So what is covered by my insurance plan, secondary insurance plan?
Absolutely. So for the secondary insurance plan, you've got coverage in 4 categories. The 4 categories are listed on the screen over here. You've got your health plan that covers you for prescription drugs, for vaccinations, mental health benefits, so that's psychology and counseling services, and other allied health professionals. So things such as physiotherapy, chiropractor, massage, naturopathy, and so forth. You will find a comprehensive list of your coverage on our website at alumo.ca. But this is just to provide you with a summary of your benefits. And each of these benefits will have their own per visit and annual maximum. So please make sure you consult that portion of your coverage as well. You also have a dental coverage that provides you with up to $700 per year of coverage. And that you could use towards preventative and diagnostic services, so things such as cleanings, examinations, checkups, extractions, fillings, and other dental services too. You've got a vision plan that you could use towards eyeglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams, and then a travel insurance plan that you could use if you happen to be traveling out of province or out of Canada temporarily while you are a student at SFU. So let's say if you decide to go for a vacation, or you decide to go even for an academic trip, whether you're doing a study abroad, whether you're doing an exchange, whether you're doing an internship, you do have the travel insurance plan to make sure that you are covered for any medical emergencies, illnesses, and injuries that you experience while you are outside of Canada. Please keep in mind, because I know all of you here are international students, this travel insurance does not cover you in your home country. So if you are going back on a vacation to your country of origin, the travel insurance does not apply to you there. However, it will apply to you at any other country that you travel while you are at SFU. Your plan also includes coverage for gender affirmation care. So if you are someone who's seeking, gender affirming medical procedures, that's something that the plan does cover as well. And more information on that will be available on the website for you to navigate.
Thank you for the comprehensive overview and the details. Moving on, what is the Student Care Network?
Absolutely. So the Student Care Network is there to provide students with additional savings and discounts on top of what the plan already covers. I've tried to demonstrate that on the screen over here. For the dental plan, as an example, you can see that preventative services are covered at 70% by your plan. If you go to a dentist who is part of the network, you get an additional 30% off. That brings your total coverage to 100%. It's not compulsory for you to go to any practitioner that's part of the network. If you go to a practitioner that's not part of the network, you can rest assured that that 70% will still be covered by the plan, but the 30% only applies to dentists who are part of the network. And so it's a nice way for you to get additional coverage and save more money. And the same formula applies kind of down the rows over there. Depending on whether you're an undergraduate or graduate student, like I mentioned earlier, the plan does vary a little bit. So you would be covered between 70 to 80% for extractions and between 60 to 80% for basic services. And you can get an additional 20% off on those services when you go to a dentist who is part of the network. In the next screen, we've also presented to you some other networks that are there to assist you in reducing your out-of-pocket expenses. We've got some for psychology, for pharmacy with our Rexall Pharmacy partnership. We've got various vision network partners in Vancouver, including Specsavers, that can provide you with additional savings and discounts on your vision appointments. And in the next slide, I can show you some additional networks on chiropractic and physiotherapy appointments. And so these are all there at your for you to use at your convenience.
Awesome, thank you. So how do I use my secondary medical benefits?
That's a good question. There are a few ways for you to access your benefits. The easiest one is the PayDirect card. So you folks will hopefully be able to pick up either a print version of this from the ISS office or the student care office on campus, or really at various locations. The PayDirect card is the easiest way for you to access your benefits, because you can just present this card at the point of service, whether you're going to the dentist, the optician, or to the pharmacist, they will just bill the insurance company directly, so you don't have to worry about submitting a claim afterwards. Now, keep in mind, not every practitioner will offer direct billing services, and so they might not accept your PayDirect card. Let's say if that practice is new, or if it just hasn't been set up for direct billing with the insurer, they will sometimes ask you to pay up front, and they'll give you a receipt, which you will then use the mobile app to submit your claims. So if you log on to the Pacific Blue Cross mobile app, you will register your profile by using your first name, last name, date of birth, email address, and once your account has been registered, you will be able to submit your receipts for reimbursement, submit and register for direct deposit, and get your reimbursement back to your bank account. And then we've got some online forms that you could fill out as well. You can print those out and drop them off to our student care office on campus. And you will and we'll be happy to mail it on your behalf, and a reimbursement check will be sent to your address on file. So these are the three ways for you to claim your benefits and access your benefits. Once again, I certainly recommend using the PayDirect option, and you can find a digital copy of this on our website, or pick up a print copy from one of our offices on campus or the ISS office.
And the next question is, what is the change of coverage period?
Yeah, so the change of coverage period is an important deadline for you to keep in mind if you wish to opt out of the plan or to enroll your dependents, right? So you have a deadline of September 15th, and that portal opens on August 25th. In case you already have existing coverage through another source, let's say your parent, your spouse, or your employer, you already have extended health and dental coverage through that option, and you wish to opt out of your SFU extended health and dental program, you could submit your opt-out request before September 15th, and you will receive then a confirmation and a reimbursement directly into your student account. On the other hand, if you wish to enroll your dependents, let's say your spouse or your common law partner and your dependent children into the plan, September 15th is the same deadline for you to do that. You can do that through our website, and that is done directly online. You also have the option of downgrading your plan to a basic plan. So all students are automatically enrolled in the enhanced or the comprehensive plan. And if you wish to downgrade yourself into the basic plan, it is a lower fee, but the coverage is also lower in that extent. So you have the option of downgrading yourself, but make sure you do that before September 15th online through our website. And if you wish to maintain both of your plans, let's say if you have a different plan through your spouse, your employer, or your parent, and you wish to keep your SFU extended plan as well, you can certainly use both plans hand in hand with each other, and enjoy benefits and maximize your coverage. So the fee for the undergraduate plan is $364.08 per year. This is your health and dental plan combined. So for a full year, that's the fee that you are going to see in your tuition fee statement. So I mentioned earlier, please keep an eye out. So please keep an eye out for two amounts that should add up to $364. That should be broken down by health and dental. And if you are someone who wants to enroll your dependent, adding one dependent will be an additional $364.08, which you will then pay directly to Alumo through our website. And if you wish to enroll two or more dependents to an unlimited number, you'll be able to add them for an additional $728.16. For graduate students, the cost of the plan is $591.88 for the health and dental plan combined. And once again, you have the option of enrolling an additional dependent for the same cost, or unlimited dependents for twice that cost. And if you wish to opt out, like I mentioned, the deadline was September 15th. Sorry, please log on to our website, alumo.ca, and you'll be able to submit your opt-out request there, upload your proof of coverage, and receive a credit for that onto your student account.
Thank you for all that information. And if I have any questions, how do I contact Alumo?
Absolutely. So we have a contact us page on our website. So log on to www.alumo.ca and find your student association in the drop-down menu. If you're an undergraduate student, that's going to be the Simon Fraser Student Society, SFSS. If you are a graduate student, that is going to be the Graduate Student Society, GSS. So you can log on to your respective student association and choose to contact us through the support form, or you can chat with us during business hours. We also do have an office on campus. So the office on campus is the student care office. You will see that in the Student Union building in room 2301. We're open Monday to Friday 9 to 5. So feel free to drop by there and ask us any questions that you might have. And the last thing I will quickly mention here is you might have already noticed throughout the presentation and when you get to campus, you might still notice the name student care being used. Just a heads up that when we talk about student care or we talk about Alumo, we're both one and the same. We've just this year gone through a brand change, and so we're transitioning our name from student care to Alumo. If you're logging on to our website, studentcare.ca, it will automatically redirect you to alumo.ca. And when you go to our campus office, you might still see the name student care. Please know that you are at the right place and that is the right office indeed. We're just kind of slowly transitioning our name and our brand from student care to Alumo. So just a heads up on that front there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ali. So next up, Ricky will tell you more about the services available to support your health and wellness while at SFU.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ricky. So what's available at SFU Health and Counseling Services?
Great question. First off, it's really important to take care of ourselves during your studies. It's a very long journey. You guys all just started. So we have doctors available who can help with your medical needs, whether that is a cold, flu, or more serious concerns to mental health and wellness. They're available to support you. We have nurses that can help with vaccinations, testing, mental health nurses that can provide coping skills during stressful events. We also have counselors available to provide mental health support. And there's also me that can also support everyone.
Yeah, can you please tell us more about your role as a transition case manager?
Yes, so my role is pretty unique in that I support students from international pathways and their transition to SFU and within SFU. I like to say that life is never nice and tidy, it's always messy. So, what I try to do is provide practical support and assistance in helping students with understanding different processes such as the medical system, the education system, culture shock, stress management, social supports, finances, and life in and out of SFU. I also run an art group to help people de-stress called Creative Collective, hosted at the GSC. So feel free to make an appointment with me at Health and Counseling or come by the GSC and drop by and see me.
Yeah, shout out to you. And so sometimes things are complicated, but so what happens if you can't help me figure things out?
Yes, great question. So if I can't figure things out, I would try my best to look at other resources and supports both on and off campus. Sometimes we need to look off campus resources in the community to explore more and figure things out. Even if I can't help you, I'll send you to someone or some place that can provide support. In a way, I'm trying to help you navigate the best way to support you during this journey.
Yeah, and for students, are the services free?
Yes, so the doctor's visit is free only if you have a medical insurance. So if you have MSP or GuardMe coverage and you're enrolled in classes, you can come by to see the doctor for whatever reason you need. Our mental health nurses and counselors are free of charge to help with coping skills as long as you're a registered student. And it's free to see me for support, even if you're taking a semester break. You can come by and see me anytime.
Awesome. Yes, and is my information kept confidential, and what does that mean?
Great question. I know it can be complicated, a lot of cross-cultural information. So confidentiality means that without your permission, we are not able to share any of your information outside of Health and Counseling office. So no one will ever know you're here getting any type of services unless you give us permission to share information. Now, in very extreme cases, where there is a concern for your or a community member's safety, then we will need to share your information.
Thank you so much. With that, let's move on to what are some practical wellness tips that you have during transition?
Yes, so I'll offer 3 tips right now. The first one is routines. They work, and yes, I know we hate routine, but seriously, when the midterms and finals and everything starts piling up, keeping up with your sleep routine, making sure you sleep enough, eat enough, take enough breaks, and socialize enough is really important. The second one is make time for things. As your well-being encompasses many elements like physical, emotional, social, and spiritual health, do not stay in your rooms. Even studying at the library or a coffee shop can do wonders for you. So get outside, get up, keep moving, connect with others, and whatever else you may need. And lastly, things may not go the way you predicted, and that's okay. We all imagine our journey here going a certain way, and then when it doesn't, it's a challenge. That's why we're here. Don't bottle things up inside. Come by, talk to us, and see how we can support you during this amazing journey for you.
Thank you, Ricky. And speaking of routines, one thing you can consider incorporating into your routine is to maybe visit the Global Student Center that Ricky mentioned that he'll also be at, hosting different events like the Creative Collective and such. So the Global Student Center, that we also refer to as the GSC, is a dedicated space for international students. And more than just being a space, it is more than just being a space to lounge and enjoy free snacks, it is also a welcoming hub that is designed to support international students and help you feel connected. So we host a variety of social events and offer drop-in partner services, including wellness guidance and creative collective with Ricky, career advising, academic writing support, and more. So I would encourage you to scan the QR code to learn more about what the GSC has to offer. In fall, the GSC will be open on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. And we really look forward to welcoming you and seeing you there in person. Okay. And for contacting the ISS, thank you, Shannon. You can connect with our team in multiple ways for any questions you have regarding like immigration, or medical insurance and such. We offer both in-person and virtual appointments at all 3 SFU campuses. You can also get in touch with us through email that is listed on the slide, and the QR code leads to our contact us page where you can find more information. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for your patience for going through all of that information. Before we move on to our Q&A session, we will wrap up the recording in a little bit. So thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you in a future workshop, even if it's one-on-one advising. Yeah. Okay, so I'll end the recording here now.